In either case, I want you to know a few things about Falun Gong. I grew up in Vancouver since 1944, came here, and the Chinese community was very, very dear to me. And the Falun Gong are an exceptional group, and I want you to know, first of all, I don't know whether you realize, they have no fundraisers, they have no executive. Am I too loud?
No, you're a little too soft, but that's better.
Am I yelling?
No, you're good.
I get pretty emotional about Falun Gong. I was there the day that they tore it apart. The police were there, and the police love the Falun Gong because they're the one group that doesn't cause any problems. They're peaceful, and I hope this city council has compassion, forbearance, and tolerance. The three principles on which the Falun Gong lives and which is so frightening to the Chinese communists. I just hope, for some reason, you can think deeper than just a little demonstration of what freedom is in Canada. My family are pioneers in this country. They came to Alberta before Confederation, before Alberta joined. And I've been in Vancouver since 1944, and I hate what is happening to a group of my friends. I think it's very, very wrong. I brought the book, and the mayor isn't here, unfortunately, but Mayor Jerry McGeer, who built this place, he would never have allowed his own citizens to be injured like these people have been. I have to go back to the timing of the closure of the site. Mayor Sam Sullivan, who I don't think came from anywhere, I think he was on the streets, went to China, and when he came back, he said, I was treated like an emperor. And the first thing he did was go after the Falun Gong, which is hated in China. Can you imagine a nation that hates people who live by compassion, forbearance, tolerance, have no fundraisers, have no presidents, have no organization, and they hate them? And it scares me. I must tell you that I'm Jewish, and I remember the Holocaust. I was 17 years old on Kristallnacht, and that night was the beginning of it. If there had been a Falun Gong in the 1930s, there may not have been the Holocaust. 11 million people died. They weren't all Jews. 6 million, only were Jews. They were gypsies. Once it starts for one group, nobody is safe. And people here say it can't happen in Canada. It's already happening in Quebec. There is so much hatred there for Christians and Jews and anybody who isn't Muslim, because it's a very Muslim nation now. But I just am so terrified of what City Council is doing to this symbol of freedom. I didn't know anything about that group. I went by there and I thought, how wonderful a nation we are when people can stand out in the street and not have people come after them. As a matter of fact, were you aware that one night a thug came out of the consulate and beat up a young man in that house? Nobody is aware of that here. I'm sure you people must be. Nobody said a word. The day that the Chinese Benevolent Association barred the Falun Gong for marching in their Chinatown parade, everybody was murmuring their joy at this beautiful parade, the Chinatown New Year parade. Everybody was so happy about it. But they didn't know that the Falun Gong were barred. We're discriminating against this group whose only crime is they live by compassion, forbearance, and tolerance, and they simply sit peacefully and do exercise and bother no one. I am very, very proud to know these people, and they are such good people, but I can't believe that we closed it down. The day that it was closed down, I was there, and there was a Christian mother with 2 children, a blonde woman, not a Chinese woman, who came up to me and said, I hope they can win this thing. because if they don't, my children will never be safe in this country. We've got to realize this is bigger than just Falun Gong. It's me and you and anybody who's different. It can happen to me because I'm Jewish. It's happening in Quebec to the Jews already. So please realize that the night I was 17 years old on Kristallnacht, the night that of the broken glass, when they smashed all the windows of Jewish homes, and you know the results of that. If there had been a Falun Gong at that time, we might not have had a war, and we might have saved 11 million lives and 6 million of my own people. Gypsies, homosexuals, old men, children were killed because they were no use to the state. And everybody purred because, like China, they're so economically strong. Well, Germany was strong and everybody admired them. If you kill enough people and you get rid of your problems, you can be rich. We can do the same if you want to live like the Chinese do and let Beijing decide what we're going to do in Canada. Incidentally, how come the residents here, the people speaking for the residents of Kerrisdale, I lived in Kerrisdale, I lived all over this city. You live a lot of places when you come here, live here half your life.